Yeah, it's two platforms. We worked on. We're looking at. We're reviewing now in the process. The players first, most importantly, how they get to view the game from performance, from training to using the drones to the static camera, different angles, different views, and then obviously the coaches. So we're educating the coaches on the same system. They're delivering the same system to what we deliver with the seniors, and then right the way down to the 16s. So the platform's really useful in terms of it's the mic'd and the monitored, and we can visually see what they're doing, but also hear what they're doing, and it's really key that the coaches are delivering the system the way it needs to be delivered. It's increased it tenfold. It's massively evolved the approach to coaching. In terms of the approach that we have in terms of flip coaching, as we call it. The aspect of visually cutting all them drills up and showing the players what them sessions look like before we go out. It cuts all the talk out on the field where we can actually, when we get out there, it's time to work and get that repetition of skill. So yeah, it's improved our skill, performance, application, up by 100%. Yeah, it's just that different angle. It's that crucial angle that a lot of people miss, or if they've not got the luxury of having that drone, it's that angle that gives you that difference to your approach, to how you're tweaking them skills or them drills. It gives you that angle that gives you the edge in, getting that win or becoming that loss. Yeah, I think it's a must. I think as everybody's evolves or are evolving in their coaching, or as a club as they grow, and mature, I think it's an asset now that every coach needs and every club needs to maximise the players' efforts and performance. So again, I'd advise every club, every player to jump on it or get a part of it, and then become a better player and a better version of yourself. Systems, it's as easy as adding one and one. It's a very simplistic system, as our system as we deliver on the field. It's just something that the average Joe Bloss could take to and bespoke it to his own means and create his own way and approach that he can maximise it to its full potential. Yeah, so again, straight from the field, from the paddock, we'll go in, we'll review the video from all angles, whether it be 3 angles, 4 angles, plus the drone. We'll look at all angles. Sometimes that pass might look a different way on a different angle, so you visually look at both. But yeah, it's a massive asset in terms of preparation. In terms of your build up in your build up to your game. But so it's a huge tool in giving us that edge in building up to that match there. I think it's that next generation. I feel it's important that we pass this information or these tools onto the next generations, because some people learn differently, don't they? Visually they learn, doing it they learn, hearing it they learn. I think having all these aspects and having all these tools, it just covers all bases. I think it'll give the up and coming coaches that we have in our system a lot of confidence to show that we're supporting, myself and Joe is supporting these up and coming coaches, and it'll give them a good step in the right direction to coaching at the elite level. Breaking it down, using the video, using the audio, feeding back individually or as groups, specifically to your needs, whether you're doing a left edge, middle or right edge, or you're doing a lefts or rights, splits, or you're doing, with that video, then you've got the audio to back up the video. As we're coaching on the move and talking, whether it be as an individual or as the groups, having that feedback then as a group or specifics is massive. It's a massive asset. Just the system, the simplistic approach of the system, being able to bespoke it and tweak it to the way I want it to work, and also then Joe as an assistant coach, require it to his needs, because obviously we're 2 different coaches, but most importantly, delivering it to the standards that we need, to the Ireland way, the DNA of Ireland, and making sure that impression's correct and right. So when the players come and sit, they're learning, and when they're learning, they're going away with that education needed to become a better person, a better player. If not better than most other platforms, I'm currently using another platform which, yes, it's very good, but it doesn't have the dynamics or the twist that that AOS has. Yes, it's very good, but not as easy to function or get around and navigate around, and also make it tailor-made to your own, as AOS does. Yeah, it's very important. It's important that we're thriving to that, being that next World Cup in 2025, and bringing people on board to be part of this journey is important. Again, as I stated before, the next generation of coaches, we need to coach them coaches so they've got a good understanding of the game, because the exposure in Ireland is not as great as it is in the UK. Rugby union is very influential over there, but we need to make sure that our next generation of coaches are up to the level that when they come into the senior environment, the players feel comfortable with them. They also feel within their own comfort means of being able to speak and deliver to them players. Just gives you that edge. One, it's time saving. It's such, the functionality of it's very time saving. It's not as time consuming as other platforms. I just think massively it just gives you the edge. If you can capitalise on the different angles and feed all them different angles in there, you can maximise of all them angles. Again, throughout the World Cup in 22, we had 2-3 angles, 2 angles from each end, one at halfway, and we had the drone, feeding them into each, into that system, and getting all angles from different views and different approaches. Massive asset. So I think I'd encourage other nations or other clubs or all clubs to get on it, and use the functionality of it and enjoy using it. And one thing I will promise, it'll save you a lot of time. Just again, the audio side of things, so coaching that player or coaching that coach, they can get the audio feedback, but also the angles is the key point. Like I stated previously, Tom, is getting them different angles is crucial, because one thing, one of the angles might look very poor, but on a different angle it's a different approach or a different look. So again, having that different angles or different approach for each player or for each coach is, it has its own dynamic reward. So it's important that we have as much as we can, so we can feedback and players evolve and grow from it. Yeah, I think as we evolve and we grow with this, with the international level, we're going to filter this right down to our 16s, 18s, 19s, stroke students, A's, women's, potentially the wheelchair, and add a different dynamic on their game as it's ever growing. It's really, built off the back of a successful World Cup. So again, as we evolve with each participating tier nation in that international level, I'd like to drop it down to the club level, the grassroots game back in Ireland. Again, if I can help them coaches and coach the coaches at that level, which will help the standard of rugby grow and evolve, then it's a win-win for when it comes to international time. Just keep doing what we do, using the functionality of it, utilising it to its strengths, and then maximising, the angles that we get from it, also the audio with it, the aspects of the players' approach, but also the coaches. We've got some really good up and coming coaches that are homegrown, and as we thrive to go forward with the development process with our own players. But, the challenge for me and the other coaches is how many homegrown internationals can we keep producing. This software alone will help that player evolve a lot faster than they would with not having that software. Yeah, I think as a group, as a whole, we were, left a bad taste in our mouth. We were a bit dissatisfied in not getting that quarter-final spot. But, I took the position 5 months out from the World Cup. I made a lot of changes in that 5 months. Had the team for one session leading into the World Cup before going to camp. So again, on a personal level, immensely proud of the boys, immensely proud of what we did and what, we put in place for the players. Cultural-wise, the players evolved and changed from previous tournaments and previous camps. The approach to it was different. The player buy-in was different. So as we move forward now, it's just keeping that group together. And again, they love this software. They love the approach to it. They love the flip coaching side of things. So when it was time to work, it was time to work. When it was time to be social and have fun, it was time to have fun and switch off. But this just gives us an edge. And as we grow and move forward to 25, this will just keep giving us that edge in terms of performance. All teams, and whether it be international or club level, I just think it's something that one will save you time, and time within the sport is precious. You don't get enough time with your players, or you get too much time with your players. But when you do have your players, maximise your time with them, and this software alone will maximise that for you. Learning, reviewing, previewing, whatever way you want to run the software or have the software, just make sure you maximise it to your use and needs, and also the playing personnel, and it won't let you down.